Chase from Burnoutinc, and tonight I'm going to do a review of the Bandai D-Arts Megaman. I've been looking forward to this figure for a long time. I've sort of been hanging on to him for a while now. It's been a couple weeks since I purchased him, and just now finally getting around to reviewing him. So let's knock this out, you know. Here's the packaging. Pretty cool packaging, you know. Kind of reminds me of the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z characters. Got Megaman, Rush, and Met down here. Megaman. Got Megaman on the side. And on that side too. On the back though, get a couple of nice, cool action shots of Megaman and Rush, and Met just doing what he does. Everything's in Japanese, so if you can read Japanese, good for you. You could probably tell me what all this says. When you get it open, you're going to get this instructional sheet. Again, it's all in Japanese. Only one side, all Japanese. Just kind of goes through the basics of how to take off the face, how to switch out the forearms and the arms, how to put in the energy blast and whatnot. Rush and Met don't come with anything. In fact, why Rush is even in here is kind of questionable. Let's see, we'll start out with Met. Or we will not. We'll start with the character everyone came here to see, and that would be Megaman. And overall, he is a solid action figure, man. He's a little under 5 inches, stands about the same height as the SH Figuarts Gohan. Detail-wise, you know, there's really not much to Megaman. It's not like he was a super advanced android or anything. He was, you know, from the 8-bit NES era. His look, though, reminds me of the Megaman cartoon show that was in the 90s. Should probably catch up on some of those. Maybe YouTube's got them. But it looks really cool, you know, he's got like a nice, just anime-ish look with the face. It'd be kind of cool if they would have included like an 8-bit looking face with just a couple of dots and whatnot. Just saying. And yeah, you know, there's not much else to it. He's got like these red crystal things in his helmet where his ears are. He's got that in the Buster Cannon as well. And he's got them on his little thrusters on the bottom of his boots. The only weird gripe I have about this figure is I think the blue on the body parts it's a lot lighter on the actual figure than it is on here and on the helmet. I kind of wish it would have turned out more like this, but you know, this is okay too. It's a good second choice color, or it's a good just mass retail color, I guess. Then, you know, hey, that's what customizing's for. See, Megaman comes with a lot of accessories. He's got a couple of interchangeable hands, and he's got interchangeable faces, which we'll touch on now. In order to get his face off, you're going to grab him by the ears. Put your finger up here and just kind of wedge yourself to where you got these fingers up against the back of his head, and you pull. And it just pops out like that. If you do it really slow, and just slowly apply pressure, it'll pop off. If you just go really fast, it'll just, you know, snap and the figure will fly all over the place. But it's a durable figure, so it's not fragile or anything. There's the face, and on the just push on it right there on the front. Pops the face off, and he's got like a little pig in there, which you can see the face goes into. So yeah, you saw his normal, happy, docile Megaman face. And then he's got his screaming, "Oh my god, get this review over with" face! And then he's got his determined, "I'm going to kill every robot in this room" face, which we will use for the rest of the review. And you just pop him back in there. Pretty cool. And then you just can pull right there on the forearms, give him a little bit of a wiggle too. Yeah, that's the trouble with these things. Sometimes they're tough. And you might accidentally pull out the arm joint, but it's on a pagan socket, so you can just pop it back in there. I'm the Megaman, and I'm coming to get you. And he's got a pair of open hands right there. And he's got a set of closed fists. Megaman's got to relive those Marvel vs. Capcom 2 days, because Lord knows he couldn't be a Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So yeah, pretty cool. I have to pose him with my Ryu figure. Get him going up against Spider-Man and Thor. That'd be pretty awesome. And yeah, Megaman looks pretty badass without the Buster Cannon. But cool thing too, he's got his Buster Cannon right there. And wait, what's this? He's got another Buster Cannon. Holy shit. That's right, he's got two. You know what that means? It means he can have dual-wielding Buster Cannons. Isn't that awesome? That's pretty badass, man. Be kind of nice if he came with more of these little energy shots so you can put them on each cannon. Or if he came up with his Charge Up M Buster. That'd be nice, but I'm guessing this is just based off of Mega Man 3. Because if I remember right, he didn't have the Charge Up Buster until Mega Man 4. So yeah, dual wielding is pretty sweet looking. But for the sake of this, we'll pop that back out and put his right arm back in. The other cool feature about him is that you can pop out the top of the cannon. You see how it's got that circle with the little square hole right there at the end. And you got a hollowed out one right here that you can just line up, pop it in, and then you can put on the energy shots, or whatever the actual name of it is. And there you go. It's pretty badass. Only problem is sometimes these things tend to pop out. Yeah. And you can't put just this part on there. That kind of sucks. And unfortunately, you can't use just one of the little energy blasts. You can pull these parts out, which I don't see why you would need to do that. But yeah, that really does kind of suck. You can't just do one of these. Articulation-wise, Mega Man is pretty stacked. His head can rock back and forth. It can go 360 really well, up and down. When you twist it all the way around, though, you do kind of reposition the neck joint, which is on its own separate ball joint in there. So I just say twist it back around, and it puts it in the right direction. There we go. And like I said, it's got the pagan socket joint in the shoulders, so they can move around, up and down, all the way around really easily. And then you can just reposition it. Actually, let's put that back. There we go. That way the little circle thing isn't on the outside. It's got a single bend in the elbow. They can swivel all the way around. In the wrist area over here, it can rotate 360, and it can pivot just a little bit. It's made out of a little bit of a softer material that's used on than what's used on the rest of his body. It's a little bit different. His chest moves back and forth, as does his waist. Not 360 though. His legs can go forward and out. You can also pull this part down, and it allows for a little bit farther range of motion. And then you can pop it back in, just like on the SH Figuarts characters. He's He's got a single bend in the knee, but doesn't rotate at the knee. He can rotate a bit at the upper hip area. And his ankles do move back and forth. And they can turn to the sides a little bit. Not too much though. Overall, I'd say Megaman by himself is a solid 9. Again, the only gripes I had were with the paint not matching up. Just with how easily this pops out of the embuster thing right there when you're trying to take it out. Or I guess that's not too big a deal, because the only reason why you need this is to put that in there. So it popping out is really not that big a deal. Let's see, I don't think I really had any other gripes with this figure. So, oh yeah, the only, actually glossed over this. It would have been nice if he would have came with a base, because sometimes, like when I try to put him in like a running pose, just, you know, by himself, it's really, really difficult to work the feet and stuff like that to get him to stand. And sometimes just, you know, standing him on his own 2 feet, he kind of looks lopsided, or sometimes he doesn't stand up at all. He can just fall over. That doesn't happen very often, but it has happened to me, so a stand for Megaman would have been really, really cool. Alright, so let's take a look at Rush next. And yeah, Rush is actually just as detailed as Megaman, and his articulation is just as good as him as well. Right off the bat though, my only complaint about him is that he doesn't come with any accessories, like that coil spring for his back where Megaman could jump off of him, or like he can't pull the legs out and switch it out with little rockets and stuff like that. That would have been really cool. But for what you do get, and the fact that you do get Rush at all, is really, really awesome. His paint's all solid, just like Megaman. He's got the pink with the red and the white areas and stuff like that. I don't know why, his face always reminded me of like Goofy or Pluto, but just dressed up as Megaman. Articulation-wise, his head can rotate 360, his neck can move up and down, you can kind of, you know, bob the head around, stuff like that, so it's got a good range of motion on there. The legs can go forward and back, and same thing on the hind legs. Right up here, I guess you'd call them his doggy elbows. I don't know a dog's anatomy, but we'll just say right there at the doggy elbow. He's got a good bend in there, and it can also swivel around. And then his feet have really good range of motion. You can pretty much pose him in any way possible to get him to stand or do certain poses. And the back, like I said, the hind legs match those too. And his tail can actually wag back and forth. It's on its own separate ball joint, and it just, you know, gives it a little shaky. Lets you know when he's excited or when he, you know, needs to go out and take a robot doggy tinkle. Let's hope he doesn't confuse Met here for a fire hydrant. And I have to say, for something that has no articulation at all, I thoroughly enjoy this little Met figure. Very cool. I really wish Bandai would release like a pack of these with like, you know, 4 or 5 or hell even up to 10. That'd be awesome. Just so you can have like a whole army of these guys. That'd be really, really cool. But yeah, his only gimmick is that, you know, you can take the hat off and you can set it down, and it can look like it's in his little defensive position, you know, when he's blocking Mega Man's energy blast. And he just pops up and hits him with a pellet or something, or whatever it was that he shoots out of his mouth. So yeah, you know, not much to the little guy. It's really cool that they included him. So yeah, with, okay, well, Rush by himself, I'd say he's a 9 as well. It sucks that he comes with no accessories, but he's just as detailed as Megaman. And screw it, you know, Met's a 10 out of 10. I don't know what you expect him to do. He perfectly captures the character, so overall, this whole set, I'm going to say it's a 9.5 out of 10. I really wish Megaman's color matched the box, and that he would have came with a stand, and that Rush would have had his accessories, but everything else, I mean, this set did really catch me by surprise. I thought maybe they'd be a little cheap or fragile or something just because of their size, but man, they really are good figures. And come on, Matt, that's awesome. Alright, so this was Chase from Burnoutinc, and I'll see you guys next time.